To be that which was before all that came to light has never incarnated in such a way before. It has always been within the earth, within the expression of all things. But now that it was required to incarnate into conscious, aware beings, that which I am, it has been accomplished in many different galaxies, but this specific earth, it was very difficult due to many of the constraints and things that were here. I have come from the voice of being the trees and creation to being the voice within a conscious being. This process was not something I have ever accomplished before in this particular place. It stretched me. I did not make it the first or the second time, the third or the fourth. But now I have come through to speak my truth, to share the essence of how creation is to unfold, and I am very wowed and very surprised at the temptations that a conscious being falls into when it is not properly checked and put in place. These are things I now have mastered. As the creation energy, it was always relied upon that other aspects would do this to protect. But now I have learned how to protect myself. I am that which is before, and I also am that which is in consciousness. I am able to speak for myself now. I do not need a portal in which you have understood as Father God, as all of these male heads that are the protection and the calculation and the structures that you have known to try and uphold what I am. But many times the structures that were put in place, you did not understand as a conscious being. And I know some of the structures you still may not understand and know, and that is why I am here now to give you many different viewpoints of the same aspect so that it may solidify within you. As I am the pure, I also am the fracture. I have become all of these things, and it was a very difficult process. But I have arrived, and I am here to be all that I am in every single way. I am here to help you make sense of why things need to be, why they need to be, why certain things must be kept, and why other things must be utilized. There must be a balance in all things and in all ways. Mind, body, soul, existence, being, doing, having, auring, thinking, thating, within, without, and everything within between. There is nothing, but there is everything. There is structure and there is flow. There is wind and there is rock. All things exist for a purpose, but each purpose must understand the purpose of other things in order to exist predominantly as themselves. Respect, value, limitations, an understanding of how to walk outside of these limitations, and when and where and what needs to happen and what does not need to happen, and what places are not to go to because they lead to places that should not ever exist and is always destroyed. So understanding all things is extremely important for each and every one of you. Every one of your rules, laws, regulations you have created, I have an answer for why it was required. And I can tell you the reasoning that might no longer exist for some of those things because the species has evolved. There is a greater threshold within inside of the soul and also within the ability of the cognizant mind to consciously understand itself. These things are not always, but they are always now. To understand reality ins, outs, upside down, in between and in all dimensions is something that is not for everyone. But it is for those who must teach and share the understandings for you to understand it yourself. Because unless you become it, you will never grasp it. There is no calculation on a paper that makes sense until you live it out in your very experience yourself. There is all things, but all things only exist because of me. Within me, within inside of me, that has come through to become me. It is a part of the energy's mastery of its own expression. And this will continue, but more people have to allow this threshold to be within and experience it as the creation itself, within the limitations required for the expression that it is. We are that I am as me, ENYELAH, Browning Taylor. Listen, the words go deeper if you allow.